Hello, this is Jody Spain, and this is my speech number 2, and I will be doing an informative speech on Gene Sharp. Gene Sharp is known for his many writings on nonviolent struggle. These writings have earned him the names such as the Machiavelli of nonviolence and the Clausewitz of nonviolent warfare. Sharp is known especially for three things: a political scientist, professor emeritus, and of course the founder of the Albert Einstein Institution, which is a nonprofit organization that studies and promotes the use of nonviolent action in conflicts around the world. Gene Sharp's influence on nonviolent struggle was very helpful with the conflicts around the world dealing with this so-called nonviolent warfare. Onto my body. Number 1. Sharp's work has influenced many resistance organizations around the world. A. His work affected youth movements in the Eastern Europe color revolutions. And B. Sharp's writing on civilian-based defense were used by the Lithuanian, Latvian, and Estonian governments during the separation from the Soviet Union in 1991. Number 2. Sharp's theory of nonviolence resistance. A. Sharp's key insight is that power is not monolithic. 1. For Sharp, political power, the power of any state, regardless of its particular structural organization, is derived from the subjects of the state. 2. His fundamental belief is that any power structure is based on the subject's obedience to the orders of the ruler. Therefore, if subjects do not obey, leaders have all the power. Leaders have no power. B. In Sharp's view, all effective power structures have systems by which they encourage or extract obedience from their subjects. Number 1. States have particularly complex systems for keeping subjects obedient. Number 2. These systems include specific information. Example would be police, courts, regularly bodies, but may also involve cultural dimensions that inspire obedience by implying that power is monolithic. Example of this would be the god cult of the Egyptian pharaohs, the dignity of the office of the president, moral or ethical norms and taboos. On to my third and last point. Gene Sharp's latest work. A. His latest work would involve Waging Nonviolent Struggle, 20th Century Practice and 21st Century Potential. That's a book, and it was published in June 2005. It builds on his earlier written works by documenting case studies where nonviolent action has been applied and lessons learned from these applications, and contains unprecedented information on strategically planning nonviolent struggle to make it more effective. B. For his lifelong commitment to the defense of freedom, democracy, and the reduction of political violence through scholarly analysis of the power of nonviolent action. The Peace Abbey of Sherborne in Maryland awarded him with the Courage of Conscience Award April 4th, 2008. And now on to my conclusion to the Gene Sharp speech. To conclude my speech on Gene Sharp, let's look at who Gene Sharp is and what he has done to become such a prestigious man in this world. Gene Sharp is a senior scholar at the Albert Einstein Institution in Boston, Massachusetts. From 1965, he held research appointments in Harvard University's Center for International Affairs for nearly 30 years. He is a professional Emeritus of Political Science at the University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth. Dr. Sharp, who has been called the Clausewitz of Nonviolence Warfare, founded the Albert Einstein Institution in 1983 to promote research, policy, studies, and education on the strategic uses of nonviolent struggle in face of dictatorship, war, genocide, and oppression. He holds the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Political Theory from Oxford University in 1968, a Master of Arts in Sociology 1951, and a Bachelor of Arts in Social Scientist 1949 from Ohio State University. Manhattan College awarded him an honorary degree of Doctor of Laws in 1993. Rivier College awarded him an honorary Doctor of Humanitarian Science 1996. He lived for 10 years in England and Norway. He did advanced studies at Oxford University and in Norway. He held positions at the University of Oslo and the Institution for Social Research. Dr. Sharp is the author of various books on nonviolent struggle, power, political problems, dictatorship, and defense policy. His writings have been published in England and several countries, and 27 other languages. These include Norwegian, German, French, Italian, Arabic Hebrew, Tamil Burmese, Karen, Thai, Spanish, Chinese, Korea, and Japanese. That concludes my speech on Gene Sharp. That was an informative speech, speech number 2, and this is Jody Spain. Thank you.